Hi, my name is Rabbi Shlomo Channon, and I want to welcome you all. I want to introduce you to one of our best teachers in the Chumash, Rav Moshe Engel. Here he is.
Thank you, Rabbi. I appreciate it.
The stage is all yours.
This week's Parsha represents Parshas Bereishet. The Torah opens up with Bereishet bara Elohim es hashamayim ve'es haaretz. The beginning of times, Bereshit. What does Bereshit mean? The beginning. The great rabbis ask, why do we start from the ot base, from the letter base, and we didn't start from Aleph? Because if it's the beginning, we should start from Aleph. The answer for the Torah, there's always a continuation, and this is why there's no start or end. It's always moving on and continuing. Just like in Judaism, we always learn new things. So this is a sign for us to show us that it starts from the letter base, not from Aleph, to show us that there's no beginning and end. The Torah is always there. So the Parsha talks to us, tells us about God created first the land, then the Shemayim, the earth, and he tells us every day we have very specific things that God created in those days. The question is also asked, why couldn't God just say in one word, there should be a world? And that's it. Why do we need every day new things? So they tell us in Pirkei Avot, the rabbis, that Hashem every day created different things to show us, to give us more sachar, a bit more reward actually is the correct word to say, for our mitzvot. Because if a father asks the son to bring him water in one word, he brings him water, he gets reward for bringing him water. But if he tells him, oh, go first to the store and then go there and then bring me the water, so he will get reward for all those three things. In the following of the Parsha, we see that God told Adam not to eat from this tree that was in the Garden of Eden. And then comes Adam's wife, and the snake talked her into it, and happens to be in the end, not only she eats, she makes Adam sin, and from then we were cursed. The Adam himself that goes on men, that we're going to have to work hard for our food, and we're going to die. And as far as the women go, she's going to have to always listen to her husband. She's going to have a hard time giving birth and sexual. But if not, it seems like we would have a perfect world, because God created the world and he said, what is a perfect place for the humankind to be on this world? It's just to sit and enjoy and serve God. But after the sin, and just like we see in the end of the Parsha, I'll just read it to you in the own words of the Parsha. It says like this, as follows. ואומר אדוני אמחה את האדם אשר בראתי מעל פני האדמה מאדם עד בהמה עד רמש ועד עוף השמיים כי ניחמתי כי עשיתי. Obviously God worked very hard to create the world, our king, and then he sees the sins that we did, and he says, you know what, maybe we should just destroy the world. I mean, what's the point, or in nicer words, the purpose for all this? And then comes Noach, and he says, "V'Noach matzah chen b'nei Adonai." Noach was found satisfaction in God's eyes. And God said for him it's worth it to keep the world. A lot of times we have a lot of challenges in life. And we tell ourselves, maybe these things are not worth it anymore. What are we doing here really? In particular, a person that's suffering, because why am I living here? Time is just going by. I mean, the more time that goes by, maybe just more I'm suffering. What's the point of all this? And then can come a little thing that says, for this it's worth it to live. For this it's worth it to live. And we see the same thing with God. And the same thing we see by Noah, that people were sinning all the time also in his generation. And God saved him because he was the only one who was going against everyone and doing God's will. And then comes Avram, that God keeps the world for him. So my point over here to say is that sometimes, even for one little thing, for one little action, for one little purpose, we could say, for this it's worth it, and this is why I'm here. Now, by us in the yeshiva, we have a program that always keeps giving motivation to the boys, because we come from very hard backgrounds, each person for their own background, and a lot of times we tell ourselves, why are we doing this, why are we doing that? We didn't fit in these programs and those. And over here what we do is we give hope for the students, and we say, wow, you're doing this little action, you're a good person, you're getting close to God. Don't look about what the outside is doing. Because if Noah would do the same, he was once one against all society. And if he wasn't strong like that, like us, telling himself, for this one little thing, purpose, it's worth it for me to push on, then God maybe would even destroy the world completely if it wasn't for him. Our name of the yeshiva is Hashivenu. Hashivenu in English means return. And it means it's never too late to return to God. And Hashivenu is hitting with the words, Yesh Hashem Banu. We have Hashem in us. So I want to give everyone a blessing. We keep on pushing forward. And just like we started Bereishet, it's beginning of times. Forget about what happened and what was, and what could have and what should have. And tell yourself, I want to do better. I want to push forward. And I have a purpose in this world and in this yeshiva. Thank you very much, and have a great afternoon.